Well, it's fascinating. The new iPad has been out for less than a week, just a few days. But already people are running through the data plans that they bought from
And
AT&T and Verizon.
How fast?
Within hours.
The entire month's data plan?
Yeah. Well,
like that, gone.
So people are, at Verizon you can get 2 gigabytes of data for $30.
It's gone.
So
it's gone in a day.
Yeah, I talked to a guy, one guy went to the NCAA basketball game in his hometown and brought his iPad with him to watch the other games that were happening in other cities, which, if you think about it, this is maybe the technology of the future. But in just a few hours, he had gone through his data plan.
Now, what is it? Is it something they're doing? Obviously, if you're live streaming video, you might think that's going to be a little bit of data going over the network. Are there other users who are just letting the iPad sit? Maybe they're using it for a few hours and suddenly looking up and saying, you've almost reached your limit?
Yeah, well, I think people just don't realize how much data these things consume. So obviously, streaming video is the big one. And since this iPad has a high-definition screen, the streaming video on this one actually takes up more data than the streaming video on an older iPad.
Is that related to the number of pixels? There are a lot more pixels on this screen, like something like 4 times the amount of a high-def TV. So is it like 4 times as much data? Is that
I don't know if it's 4 times as much, but it's
more.
It's more, for sure, for sure.
I'm one of the people who went out and got one of these things Friday, and I have to say...
Which did you get? Did you get the 4G?
I did, of course. And, the thing is, I will say, I do love the speed. It is very addictive, and I think that's the trick, is that you find yourself doing a lot more because you don't have to be as patient waiting for pages to load and that kind of thing. So you find yourself doing a lot more on it, and it's so much easier, which of course Apple, that was their hope, I'm sure. But there is the drawback, and of course none of these plans are offering unlimited data anymore.
Correct. And so the question is, you love the speed, but how much are you willing to pay for that speed?
Right.
And with that, thanks to that speed, you can go through gigabytes in hours,
right.
And that's sort of what this new iPad is designed to do.
Is there a way for you to sort of degrade? Say, I want a less crisp picture. I'll go with a less crisp picture for less data.
I think you're going to see that emerging for sure. I think as app developers look at how people are using their content, they'll look for ways to give users options. And I think you can also, toggle the LTE. That's the super fast. You can turn it off, right? So that's one.
That might be the way, because those bills. I'm sorry, go on.
But it's not as much fun.
Right.
I got to tell you.
So the other thing.
Who
that
knew
can
you're
happen,
trendsetter here?
The other thing that can happen is the carriers can tinker with their actual pricing plans.
Right.
So, for instance, one thing that AT&T has talked about is to have the app developers and content providers pay for the data. So, for instance, if you like watching Netflix movies, Netflix or whoever could actually pay AT&T for the data their traffic uses, so it doesn't count against your plan.
But you're still going to end up paying for it anyway, aren't you?
Yes.